Hello there and welcome, it's fairy time, yippee, Titania! This character is probably the best in the game for speedrunning. I know Volt and Gauss and stuff are really fast too, but it's just... This frame you have arguing in mission, sorry there was something on my mouse, and it's just great, you can just fly through everything, and she has insane single target damage, which I'm gonna show now, but before going into the video, I want to say that my build, guys, focuses a lot on build synergies and maximization, in-game content, and getting the most out of the Warframe abilities. So, also, I know there's this thing in the community where people, they spend 15 minutes talking and show 5 seconds of a build. I don't want to do that. I want to say that hopefully the links to the build should be in the description down below. You can just go and copy paste, like copy and save it. And it's very easy, and I'm not going to waste any time. I'm just going to go straight into it. So for Titania Prime, the Argon shards I use is all Tau forged Crimson shards with ability strength, and I know there's also secondary critical chance, especially the orange one where you do heat and then you get X amount of critical chance. However, the Dexpixia Prime scales really poorly with critical chance. It's not even it's not. I mean, you get more damage, like damage per second wise, right, with this than you do if you build shards for critical chance. From my testing, at least, which is really, and this was better by like a far. It was better by far. Okay. Not even close, and we will also get critical chance from someplace else, which makes it even less worth it to use critical chance shards. But even without the thing that solves that, it's still worse to use these. Update. I'm gonna update on my earliest convenience. So I for sure recommend doing ability strength. It also boosts raw, which makes it even better than it was before. You see 82% damage boost. And even without raw and the damage boost to raw, it was still better. So don't do critical chance shards. It's a trap. Because even it's just better, and we get more raw, which is even better. So don't do it. Don't do it. I'm sorry if you've already done it. Also, we have raw subsume, which is great for damage boost, especially with the strength we have. Arcane Vitality, because we build heat on the weapon. Then you get status of, then you get 2 heat procs, so double dip damage, basically double, not double dip, you get double the damage over time effect, right? Intensify for strength, continuity for duration, and efficiency between expertise and streamline. So it's cheap to use the fourth ability. We also have Arcane Flow. You can just use Prime Flow. I don't even think we use cold in this any longer. Actually, we don't. But it's just whatever. You never know. Okay, I had too much space. You can just use normal Prime Flow. Transient 40 to strength. In the conversion, which is great. Then you have 50% strength for the next ability cast, and it lasts the whole fall. Okay, which is absolutely bonkers. One thing you need to bear in mind is the fall is 1.25 energy per second right now because we have max efficiency. This, you lose duration, and I'm gonna show you something funny. I'm not sure if the math is correct, but now it's 2.25, but it should be the same, right? Because duration and efficiency stacks up. If you were to put more duration, like this, then we are still sitting at 2.31, and that's way more than 1.25, right? So yeah, this is definitely optimal, and you don't need duration. I mean, wall is still 20 seconds, which is plenty. For the hour, going power is really good. You can also use aerodynamic. You take 24% less damage when you're airborne. However, Titania is very small and very hard to hit and very elusive, so we don't really need it. And we have Aviatar, which gives you 40% damage reduction while airborne, so I just used growing power because the squad will love it, and it's more damage for you, and it's gonna trigger before we go in 4 anyway with the setup we have. Then we have Arcane Hotshot, which... Wait. Was this a mistake? That's a mistake. I was testing. This does not work on fall. You need to hit enemies with abilities that inflict heat damage, and even with heat on the fall, it doesn't work. However, it does work if your companion hits with ability. However, again, if you're in the arc ring, then the companion can't use abilities. So that's what I was testing. Arc Inquisition is great. But yeah, it's really sad that no work. You can also use Fire Blast or Thermal Sunder, but then we don't have War. And this is also great. It's just 300% flat damage. It's additional damage. And I can energize for energy sustain. We have AK-47, also known as the AX-52. And I only picked this gun because it's funny to see like a fairy tale character, like a fairy character, having an AK-47. You can use any primary. Then for the secondary you want the Grimoire. And then on that weapon you want... I don't even know if this works in Arcwing, I don't think it does. But you want this Roman Invocation. So Alfire gives you ability strength for each enemy hit, and you can do secondary kinship, so you get critical chance per buff on allies. And this should also work while you're in the Arcwing. Even though I didn't test that, but it should. It's better than nothing, I guess, at this point. It's just stat sticking. Then you want the Fister, also known as the Furex Wave, which you can then use Amalgam Furex Body Count on, so you get 45% fire rate on secondary weapons. The Dex Pixie build looks like this. You want heat and a bit corrosive. You see the damage is really nice. Secondary innovate makes us gain flat crit chance. This is flat, okay? So you're gonna go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, okay? Which solves the crit chance problem. This alone is enough. Also another reason, you see only 10% base chance. So the Archon shots with critical chance is so bad. But we can just still do prime target cracker because of this, and the weapon is so busted right now because of this. So that's yippee. Diwata Prime is really bad. It's arguably some of the worst weapon in the game. But the Razerflies from 4, they use the weapon mods. So this is probably the most optimal setup if you want the Fireflies to do damage. But they don't do that much damage. It's more for like low level trash clearing an area. Then for the Sentinel we have Worm Prime because this Sentinel gives enough shield bonus that you can use Reinforced Bond for 60% more fire rate. And with Furex Wave and this, you don't need to build any fire rate on the next pixel, which is great. It also gives you Guardian, so you can get full shields when it runs out. Negate removes status effects every 5 seconds, which is great if you get hit like by a heat wave or like electricity or something, shocked, and you're gonna die from damage over time, then this stops it, which is great. Like, you know, AO, the heat waves are some of the things that can actually hit Titania. So this is really nice to fix that. And that's basically all that's important. This also nice for priming. I think it does work when you're in the Arcwing in the 4th, so that's great. You have primed Animal Instinct for some loot radar, enemy radar, so you know where the enemies are, and Tenacious Bond, so you get more critical damage multiplier. So that's basically, I think this companion is good, and it does work then again and stuff when you're in the Arcwing. However, stuff like, I think like Encore from Diwata doesn't work, so it's kind of weird. I think I forgot to mention something. Probably not. Let's see if I remember anyways. Reckless Prime is great. It gives 4 different statuses and it's a good primer. But you need a Riven with critical chance to reach 50% for Tenacious Bond. Without this weapon you should use the primed laser rifle. You see this also has a lot of status going on. And now I know why we have Archon Flow, that's right. You see this, but the problem is that it doesn't shoot very well. It's a very bad weapon. So the priming from the duplex bond will be really bad, but you can use this, and if with this setup you get cold, and you know we have heat anyways on the Dexpixia, and on this should work on Archon Flow because they are affected by cold, you see. So that's also some nice energy sustain, but it's not really that much needed, and it's not that reliable, but it's just something to bear in mind. But you probably want to do the setup with elements and cold, because you have heat and viral on this. But then, so you have corrosive and cold on this to like have 2 other elements, right? You see when we use abilities, then there will come these clones. I can't just hold it. It's way too cheap. It's every time you spend 100 energy. I think they will just spawn when you're in the arc ring and you fly around. It's way too cheap ability. Yeah, you see? But they are also gonna passively spawn when you are just flying around, which is great. Now onto the abilities. The first ability is Spellbind, which makes like you can hold it down to remove status from yourself. So that's also kind of stupid with the worm, but it's kind of hard sometimes to remember, and you need to be fast. But with Worm Prime, it's much easier to like comprehend, and you know. But if you are really good and you're fast to react and you don't panic, then you can subsume on Spellbind and keep the Lantern. Even though we have very minimal range with this build. What was even the range? It was really bad, right? Probably 100%. Yeah, why did we not do now? Oh, now might not even need it. You can do Lantern instead, but I kept Spellbind because you can remove status, and if the worm is like, I mean, it's just nice you have both options, and the worm can actually do enough shield, right? There's a lot of companions that can't get enough shield, and what else are you gonna use? So I guess you can replace Spellbind, but I didn't like the Lantern anyway. But you can also use Spellbind on an enemy, and then they get like thrown into the air, and allies become immune to status effects too. So it's nice you can also help your team, so that's another reason to keep this, but just subsume on this or this, it's either, it doesn't really matter, it depends which ability you like more, and that's like personal preference. The next ability, Tribute, is really weird. So you have 4 different buffs that your companions will get, basically. All this is not for you or your team, is for the companions. So basically for the Razerflies, damage reductions, negative hit chance. So I guess that's how much the companion gets hit. Full Moon, they get more damage, health, and armor, and Entangle, they remove speed from the enemies. I don't know, it really looks so weird. I mean, it looks like it's something for you, but it's not. It doesn't even say that it's for the companions. It's really weird. They should update the description, but thankfully I know how it works. Also, for each one you cast, you get another Razorfly, so you have 6 default up to 10. However, when they die, they don't respawn, and they should really change that, because that means you need to go out of this ability and in again, and that's so annoying. See number of drones. And then we have War for damage amplification. It's almost 100%, which is great. And this ability is amazing. First, I'm gonna show the Spellbind though. We're gonna go over the abilities one by one. You see, so they start like flowing, and they're really crowd control, which is also nice. You can do this in like stronger targets, and then they're out of the game. And hold it to gain immunity. Sorry if you could hear that. The next ability I can show, because that's more for the Razorflies, and War is just, you know, War, you get damage. So I'm actually gonna have to go in my 4th to show the second ability. However, before going in the 4th, we need to pick up energy orb, right? Because we have energy conversion. Yippee! This, see the energy conversion symbol? There's also gonna be a blue orb flowing around me, like this. Then you hit enemies with the alternative fire, the middle mouse button, like this. Then you get this buff, 60% ability strength, and you also get growing power. Then you press 4 and you're in, and you have a lot of bonus. 110% plus growing power, right? You see the little Razorflies flying around. They do very negligible damage. You see now this spawn and health. But yeah, the damage is very bad. It's almost nothing. But it can kill at lower levels with the spawn. They also get the war buff. Now if we use 2 on enemy, you need to cycle and do all if you want all the buffs. Now you see on my ability, the number goes up, now it's 10, so now we have all 10 Razerflies. These Razerflies, they are really good at distraction. Like, they are insanely good, they really like to harass the enemies. You see? The enemies will they will basically prioritize them because they're so close, right? They are really a big harassment tool. It's insane crowd control. And it's great, but the problem is that when they die, they don't come back. Which is not great at all, it's awful. Let's see how long they last though. But I like how they bully them, like, look at that, they just bully and bully. And one thing to bear in mind, if you go out of your 4 and in again, you should have 10 as long as the ability from 2 is up. They're actually pretty good, but if you fly around in a long time, they're gonna die eventually. Now I'm gonna show the weapon. Just stack it. You see, it's a great single target damage weapon. And you see we even hit orange, 500,000, we even hit orange crits because of hotshot. Now all the Razerflies is at one enemy. Let's spawn new enemies, now we're stacked, right? And I'm gonna do war too, so you can see like the full power. First I'm gonna shoot like half of them without war, like this. I think we can basically even one-shot them. Wait. Look. It's so strong. 600,000. That was a one-shot headshot on a... It makes them really hard to hit when they are moving like that. Maybe we can just go ham. And with the wall, it's even better. It's just twice the damage, right? And another thing is when you fly around, then you pick up energy orbs, and when you cast wall, then you get, you know, 50% more strength, 1 million. So this is great. So yeah, that's it for the build. I do want to show an alternative build though. So we're gonna, if you're playing like low level missions, let's say they're level 40 and you're playing non-steel path, you're playing the low level missions like alert, or you want to like help some friends or something, then it's really great. Let's just spawn these and you can see they also pick up the buffs for you, which is great. But you see they are actually not that bad. They actually kill the enemies. So I think it is worth modding them. I mean, it is nice that they will fly around and act on their own and just kill everything, and you can give them more too, right? Which is great on Slash. But look, it's actually not bad. They are very aggressive. But it's mostly just for crowd control. However, there's one last build I want to show you on the Titania Prime, and that is the Thermal Sunder. I also used to have one for Null Star, but Thermal Sunder is better from my testing. But you can try the Null Star one. Actually, I'll just show it real quick. So this build is focused on the Null Star ability from Nova, which you get all these tiny orbs, right? And then you fly through the mission and you press 3 and you send them out. You see that? Like so, and then you just fly around and press spam 3, right? But Thermal Sunder is better, which is insane. I'm gonna show it in a mission because it's hard to see when I'm in the simulacrum. But I'm just gonna show you how it works real quick. So you use 3 and 3 and 2 to get cold. So 2 each, 1 cold, and then you can armor strip and nuke enemies. I swap mine, so you have to hold 2 times and then tap 1. But I really recommend swapping it. Let me show you in a mission real quick. I can find my mouse. What in the hell? It's embarrassing. So here we are, an exterminator on Setnap. Let's go into the 4th ability, even though we should probably hit them with Grimoire first, right? But just to get faster, faster. Let's just stack it. Oh my god, come on. In a job now. In a job. Mother Jagers. Wait, what? Do I need to go up again? What is this tile set? Oh, so I wasn't even supposed to go down there. That's so stupid. Is that new? Maybe I always just run over that hole. That's so funny. Anyways, you guys need to see me make mistakes. Why do I not get energy orb? Oh my god, energy orb, please. Never mind the energy orb then, I guess. Let's just do this. Oh my god. So scuffed. Oh, we got... No, we didn't get it. What the hell? That's okay. Then we do this. And then we can use this ability to burn them, you see? Then we can just fly for the mission. Okay. Oh, I need to pick this up. My OCD, I can't leave it, okay? And you can just go like this. Clap, 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 clap. Yes. No, I don't want it. You can also see in demo log, I'm just gonna kill 54, 56, 57. You see it's very fast to go for the mission. Kuva, nice. 59, 62, 69. And also nice you can use your operator, right? Oops, I clicked all. Wow. 87. Oh my god, another one of these trolling me. Anyways, then yeah. Oh my god. I'm such a noob. 127, you see, it's really easy because then you don't even need to aim, but it only works in lower levels. Also, sometimes you can fly through these small gaps, which is funny. And you can get into like places where other frames can't get into. But yeah, that's great. I think it's nice, but only for lower levels. And lastly, the fashion frame, and I think this long one is adorable. It's so beautiful with the orange and white and gold. It's the Titania Prime helmet with the Titania Empress skin. I mean, the Empress helmet looks good too, but yeah, I think the Prime helmet is so nice. Titania Noble animation. Attachment, the ribbon lead guard arm on the shoulders and the avia angle plates on the legs. Loaded ephemera with the Mac Helm signet. Copy main colors. Shundana, the Gigiolorum Prime Shundana. Copy main colors. No, sorry, sigil, we have a Unity sigil with this black. That's the same black from Storm, by the way. And then this orange from Fire. And the alpha all the way turned up. Then we have this primary black, which is the same from some from Smoke too. Did I say Smoke before? I hope so. Then this whitish from Classic, and then this black again from Smoke, and that palette still accents this orange from Shamrock, which is great. And then this yellow from Shamrock, which is also kind of nice. It's like an orange yellowish. We have this red from Valentine. We have this orange for Energy again, and the same orange. And that's basically it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks you guys so much for watching. See you next time.